This is Michaela McLean, and you're listening to Beauty by Design. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. It is time to talk about our next gate, gate 14. But before we get into it, just your friendly reminder to make sure that you have grabbed my free human design guide to the basics. That, of course, gives you a little nugget on the different types, their strategy, their authority. It's going to take you to the correct $11 Aura Titan Masterclass. Very important, great refresher, great stocking stuffer. We can do that with them. And that leads you also then to the correct yoga nidra, the energetic beauty sleep for your type and authority. So there's only one that's going to apply to you, but it also comes as a bundle if you are a provider of some sort, whether it's an esthetician, a massage therapist, an acupuncturist, whatever. Beautiful way to incorporate human design in a very simple way into your treatment room. All you need to know is someone's type and authority. That's it. Pick the right one, hit play, and let them pull us out. We get all the beauty benefits of yoga nidra that is scientifically backed. And then you're learning all this amazing human design, knowledge, wisdom, and letting it sink into the cells. Okay, so that said, I also just had a new nidra hit for Little Fox, the ancient green box. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous green is my favorite color. This entire bath box is an immersion into the color green. So we have two different bath soaks, a brand new face and body nectar, and a brand new facial mask. And of course, the products are just like over the top. It's like turning your bathroom into a Roman bathhouse. So that is this nidra that goes with it. So of course, you get the box, you can scan the QR code, it takes you to the nidra and you basically do all your bathing rituals. And then you'll lay down and listen and go on this magical journey. It truly is. Madam Little Fox Alexis, she said that so far this is her favorite one. We both have the same favorite color, which is green. So I was really into it. When I was writing this one, if you've ever been to Bath, in England, when we lived over there, it was just like, oh, I was smitten. No, I just mentally transported myself back there and was like, the words just were flowing out as I was creating that one. I love it when I get super inspired to do really fun, creative stuff. And funnily enough, that is exactly what this game is about. So we're going to get into it. Before we do, of course, my little disclaimer, don't try to understand this at the mental level. Just let the sound current, the energy, the frequency of beauty sink deep into your cells like good skincare, like you're soaking in Little Fox skin. All right. So we are coming up at the end of Scorpio. It's amazing. I feel like that just started. End of Scorpio season, we're just ever so slightly, this gate dips into Sagittarius, into gate 14, which is located in the sacral and it's part of the individual knowing circuitry. And people with individual circuitry have a deep inner knowing that they are here to be true to themselves, which leads to mutation, evolution, and positive change in the world. And the keynote for individual circuitry is empowerment. The center itself, the sacral, it's the major motor center of the body graph, and it's responsible for generating sustainable, that is always the key word, sustainable life force energy that powers up the whole world. Okay, so spoiler alert, gate 14 is considered a wealth or abundance gate, as in money, honey. So do I have your attention? Gate 14 is known as possession in great measure, the gate of power skills. And it releases energy, money, or resources to empower direction in life. So the low expression of gate 14 is being out of alignment with yourself. Basically, that means not following your strategy and authority. Guys, it all comes back to this. It's so simple. It didn't say it was easy, but it's simple. Back to your strategy and authority. So being out of alignment with that, also lacking the awareness that you don't need to be like anyone else. You could be suppressing your uniqueness or your special skills because they don't belong on a typical resume. Being a slave to the wrong type of work, compromising yourself for the sake of others' desires, allowing yourself to be vampire food. Basically, again, like letting people feed off of your energy because honestly, like who wouldn't want access to power skills that bring abundance? You could also be unknowingly saying yes to essentially wasting your precious and powerful energy on things because others want it, not because it's beneficial for you or you want it. With this gate, it's really interesting. It's like it's the epitome of where your attention goes, energy flows. And in the case of gate 14, energy is power. It's miracle grow. But your daily jug of miracle grow is only so big. So what do you want to use it to feed? Keeping that in mind, the high expression is being able to relax into your design and follow your strategy and authority to keep you in alignment, keep you on track with who, what, where gets the miracle grow. Leaning into and utilizing your natural gifts, the more unique, the better, to do the work you love. And that'll automatically generate all the wealth, abundance, and power needed to make that positive, mutative impact on the world around you. When applying yourself, your focus, and your energy on what you love, there's unlimited potential. There's an inherent ability to develop, air quotes, power skills. Somebody with 14 can basically kind of be good at whatever they do as long as they love it. Remember, this is individual. Your own brand of special sauce is the magic ingredient that will make doors open for you. So with 14, it's generate and create, do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. And as I already mentioned, it's one of the 3 abundance gates in human design. Sometimes this is referred to as like a God given inheritance. It can be easy for these people to make money when they are living in their strategy and authority and doing the correct work for themselves. So, once again, saying it louder for the people in the back, it's imperative to follow your strategy and authority. And again, if you're a gate 14 person, extra, extra, extra important. Okay, so in the gene keys, the shadow of this one is compromise, the gift is competence, and the city is bounteousness. The title of this gene key, the chapter, is Radiating Prosperity. And so in it, Richard Rudd talks about compromising yourself as the shadow, which makes so much sense. I'm going to pause and say this is a generated gate / channel. Okay. So generators, just taking that as like the type of like what type of channel this is. They're so often doing so much of what they don't love. They're compromising themselves. You know, when I talk about it in my aura type classes for generators and manifesting generators, which they're really one and the same, because that's why the generator is a generator is a generator. But in those classes, it's like I'm always like, work shouldn't be a dirty 4-letter word. We are supposed to be doing what we love. So Richard Rudd says, compromise is the byproduct of living without a sense of personal freedom. It implies lack of imagination and an inability to believe in the power of your own uniqueness and individuality. Compromise is bred into us through society's systems. Whenever you compromise, you are settling for second best. And so you can never fully enjoy what you do in life. If you do not enjoy it, you can never excel at it. Enjoyment and enthusiasm are the fuel in the turbine that drives you to excel. All children are born with a certain genius, and if allowed to develop in the right direction, that genius will inevitably emerge, and the work that they do will inspire others to achieve the same high standards. Genius itself is highly contagious, just as compromise is. Because genius is so contagious and empowering, individuals can truly change the collective frequency of the whole of humanity. Compromise is often a very subtle thing at the beginning. It's not really about your action, but about your spirit. If you do something you don't really like, but it is a stepping stone towards your dreams, and that will transform the way in which you do it. However, if you do something that you don't like because society has in some way pressured you to do it, then you are on a slippery slope. That kind of compromise can easily become a habit, and in the end, it will zap your spirit and draw you further away from your true potential. You need to keep your enthusiasm alive by seeing what you do as part of your overall direction in life. This is how you can bring meaning into even the dullest of jobs. The greatest damage done to individuals in our world is the continual programming by the low frequency collective consciousness that forces people to compromise and give up on their dreams. The spark of genius is there at birth, and if recognized at an early age, the child can lead a childhood individually tailored to fan the flames of that particular genius. Finally, compromise cannot bring you prosperity because it makes you a follower rather than a creator. True prosperity emerges from doing what we are here to do, rather than being simply another cog in a collective machine. Prosperity is the byproduct of individual creative endeavor and requires a sustained sense of empowered direction. The moment you make a compromise, your wagon begins to leak energy. The riches that you were born with begin to decay. The very frequency of compromise negates the possibility of good fortune and synchronicity. It is a no man's land where nothing of beauty can ever occur, and no trace of inherent genius and purpose can be realized. A latent genius emerges when you stop making compromises in life. Competence is the quality that accompanies a person who loves what they're doing. It is one of those gifts that cannot be taught because true competence hints at much more than simply doing things well. Competence carries within it efficient enthusiasm, flair, and flexibility, the four keys to material success. Competence in this sense is about performing a task with complete precision and elegance, in alignment with natural and harmonious rhythms. The 14th gift of competence is one of those gifts that is extremely contagious. As noted, one of its manifestations is enthusiasm, which is such an essential quality within any group, enterprise, or business. Competence also has a unique approach to everything. To be competent in something is to innovate new and exciting ways of tackling things on the material plane. The 14th gift also respects the unique and individual style and input of others. These people have a real flair. They're not afraid of doing things in their own unique way, even though it may have never been seen or done before. At the same time, these people do not reject the advice of others if it helps their task, making them powerful team players. Whether you are the leader of the team does not matter. The only thing that matters is that your unique capacities are respected. These are people with an enormous capacity to work at something if they really love what they are involved in and those with whom they are working. In this respect, they are natural teachers of others, since they imbue people with a sense of their own independence and confidence. The 14th gift also has another latent power, the power of attraction. Competence creates a powerful magnetic field that not only draws in the right support, but also has the ability to magnetize material wealth. Prosperity is an infectious energy field that grows exponentially as long as it is used in the service of empowerment. Competence is unafraid of success and power and radiates confidence and assuredness wherever it goes. It is a force field that naturally creates prosperity. It cannot do otherwise because it has so much creative power within it. It has only to find the right outlet in the world. Competence is the working aura of someone who loves the material work they are involved in, whether that be in the office or at home, in the family. In fact, the moment you activate the 14th gift, you release a certain aroma through your DNA that soon makes you the backbone and mainstay of any family or team. Okay, so my notes here, this is part of a generated channel. It operates in response to the correct thing, essentially to the correct work in front of it. Generators as a type are designed to work, which is really just about funneling our sustainable energy into things that we love to do. So Ra, the founder of human design, said of the 14th gate, he said, our most common word for energy is money. The power that is inherent here in the 14th gate is not about money in the sense of hard currency. It is about power as currency. And again, think about that. It's coming from the sacral, like the most powerful motor in the body graph. Like, this is considered a wealth gate, and the potential here lies in somebody with gate 14 truly loving their work. It's like if it's a labor of love, the type of thing where, oh, I'd do it for free, like if I could, I would do it for free because I love it so much, right? That is a really cool response to get out of 14th gate. So I already said this earlier, but this gate is like energetic miracle grow in human form. When its energy is sprinkled on things, it helps it helps whatever it's been poured on, to flourish and thrive over time. And everyone wants it. It is generated. So generators and manifesting generators, which again, one and the same, um, their aura gives anything a major boost, right? And people want to siphon off that generator energy. They want to borrow it for their own benefit, much like the next gate that we'll get to next week, gate 34. I'm laughing about this because it's also power, and they're my only two sacral gates. And I'm like, oh yeah, we feel this. People even when they're not aware of it, it's just like, ooh, let me plug into your battery. Like I want to get charged up from that. That's what's happening with these types of gates. But regardless of what type you are, people are hot for it. So please, 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 again, I implore you, use your strategy and authority when you enter into anything. Like, don't go using up your jug of Miracle Grow on things, people, whatever, that don't align with your personal strategy and authority. Like, that's not a correct use of this energy. Anybody from a generator all the way to a reflector can have gate 14. And like I said, people want some of it, but whatever your own personal strategy and authority is, like, you need to employ that when you can just tell it's like they're wanting your energy from you. Again, if it's like the right thing, it's going to be presented. That's going to go through the whole rigmarole, and it's like it's going to feel good. But when you can just tell, it's like, oh, am I just doing that because I can, not because I should? That's something to think about. Okay, so the programming partner here. So the sun is in Scorpio. The earth is automatically opposite in Taurus, gate 8. Gate 8 is known as holding together. It's the gate of contribution. And this one's keynote, the basic worth realized in contributing individual efforts to group goals. This is the gate that gives voice to the inner knowing of the higher self. And the keynote with this one is I can make a contribution or not. It is unique self-expression. With this one, it's just like, hey, what is this person excited about really at the end of the day, and sharing that from a very, it's individual. It's like, it's meant to be inspirational, getting excited, getting other people excited, just like the power of one's voice. When it's not being used correctly, it's like, going along with the status quo, being mediocre, just kind of suppressing yourself again, kind of like with the 14 to fit in, just being bland. That's not what we want to do here. With this one, it's cool because it can recognize what is cool and exciting in others and other things and other people. It draws other people in with its own excitement. This is really like the voice of an influencer. It's not doing it on purpose. And that's kind of key here. It's like, it's just truly into whatever it is speaking about. And other people can't help but kind of get infected by that, right? That individual circuitry can help but kind of like latch on and help people mutate. You were just empowering other people to be themselves because you're being yourself, like unapologetically. That's really, really important. And the Gene Keys is about having the gift of style. It's just, this is a cool energy. And this one is like the marketer and the promoter, which I find fascinating, being the partner to the 14. Like, it makes sense that those come as a package deal. It's like 14 is these special off the beaten path skills. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about how excited I am about things being new and different and what have you. I was say like a laugh because 8 is my little manifestor. This is his son Gabe, and it is like the excitement in his voice. he can get you excited about anything. It's so cute. So anyway, the gate that completes the channel is also Taurus, gate 2, forming the channel of the beat. And 2 is known as the receptive. It's the gate of the direction of the self. And it is considered the most yin or feminine of all the gates. It's both about a kind of built-in life direction and the receiving resources. And the keynote with this one is direction or vision. It is the director or driver. So the magnetic monopole, which I've mentioned here and there, that is like this one-way magnet that drives everything loving and beautiful our way. It essentially sits in gate 2. So this gate is the gate of our higher self. our inner GPS system. It propels you toward your destination. It is the inner compass. And with this one, like the low expression is almost just feeling like you have to be doing something instead of trusting, basically oversubscribing to hustle culture, not letting yourself just rest and receive and feeling out of flow of the rhythm of life because you're way more in your head versus following strategy and authority. So with this one, the high expression is about a higher vision or purpose. It has the energy to receive everything it needs to bring whatever that vision is into reality. I always say it's like so much about sitting back and allowing, waiting, responding, making yourself a fit receptacle. You do not have to go chase after your life's purpose or seek out your direction. It's more about just aligning with your inner compass and allowing it to lead you, allowing the resources to come to you, trusting in divine timing, and that the support will be there when you need it. I always think with this one, it's like the Empress and the tarot, it's just like, should just kick back. Like, I'm on my throne and all my needs are met. And she's vibing. So yeah, I just love it. It's like, because at the end of the day with gate two, it's like there's nothing to do. It's about being. Gate two also has this really cool ability to help others with their direction. And that's either through the management and distribution of resources or simply by following their own direction. It just kind of helps other people calibrate to theirs. So again, this is about management of the wealth, resources, whatever, to get things done sort of on the material plane. As I mentioned, gate two, that's the most yin of all of the gates. And it's all about our direction in the now, our place in the here and now, right now. And that comes together, right? So that here we have the G center, our inner compass, directing us, connecting, right place, right time with the 14 and the money, the resources, however they show up coming from the 14, right? Even just the sustainable energy coming from 14 to like do the work that it loves. When these two come together to form the channel of the beat, also known as the keeper of the keys, it's like, get in, loser, we're going shopping. I always look at this as like two would be the driver, and being like, come on, get in, bring your money, because I know where we need to go do the thing. So we've got 14's pure, sustainable, sacral power coming up, like I said, to meet the soul-centered direction of gate two. And it is about using these unique, special, just kind of out there power skills and talents to obtain wealth and resources, right? 14's giving us this sustainable fuel and then repairing it with this ability to put whatever those power skills and resources are to good use in the world. Two gives the direction and the guidance. It's the compass. It's considered an abundance marker, this gate or this channel in the chart, somebody who's seen potentially as like lucky, that natural inheritance. Someone who maybe comes into money. It's like, think about that, somebody who's like, oh, I hit 18 and I got an inheritance. Like, it's likely that they're going to need guidance on what to do with that, right? So there's the 14 and then the 2 guiding it. Yeah. So you wait to respond and follow the natural direction built in to lead you where you're meant to go and allow your response to lead the way. Strategy and authority. This is also an extremely infectious and mutative individual channel. It really is about like this person who has it going their own way. And the cool thing about it is that it overrides the awareness centers, so this really is just about the sacral response powering the direction. And maybe I was like thinking like, oh, it's like a self-driving car, it's like, okay, this is the way I'm going and I'm not really concerned. I'm not aware, there is no awareness in this between the sacral and the G center. It's just going where it's meant to go. Since this is individual, the work it does naturally empowers others through mutation. It has a special effect on those who come into contact with it, potentially reorienting them in their life's direction. Of course, when the person has this channel, the 2 to 14, when they're healthy, when they're doing it in a high expression, right? They have this potential to just kind of help reorient other people. So cool. Because when you pass through their aura, right? So again, the 14, those resources, it's like there's talk about this in the books. It's like a lot of times that people with 14 aren't even really that into money itself, even though they are like it's abundance. And it's more about what can I do with it, which always makes me laugh because it makes me think of my father-in-law. He said different times, he's like, money only interests him because of what it can do, like not money itself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like so 14. you know and then again, two's going to take him, figure it out, point it in the right direction, and give it more structure and guidance. So if you have 14 by itself without the two, this is my setup. I've got this situation. It definitely feels like having these really cool skills, but needing to have others in my life to help bring things in and ground them in reality, point me in the right direction, all of that. Um, this is also one of the three tantric channels on the chart, basically taking the power from the sacral and empowering the G center's love and direction. Tantra, as a word, is essentially the weaving together of the physical, like money and materials, right? Now we're coming up from 14 in the sacral and weaving that together with the spiritual and mystical. Is the G center. But with this channel, the sacral is the boss. People with this energy have an incredibly powerful auric field. As I said, like interacting with them is going to potentially change and affect your direction. So if you are somebody with the channel, you really, really, really need to surrender and trust life to guide you so that then you have a positive mutative impact on other people. So again, just surrender to the sacral if you have this channel. On a personal level, like I have 14 twice. It is it's Uranus on both sides. So I have 0 degrees Sagittarius. This is where it just ekes into Sagittarius. On my design side, it's 27 degrees of Scorpio, right? So I've got them both ways. And I would definitely agree with the more unique and unusual. And even Uranus is like kind of a wild and wacky planet. It's like the more just random that I have been and creative and just doing my own thing, strange power skills, like what I do now, that's like helped me definitely in life, be just being an individual. It's the thing that's like, I believe helped bring me success and abundance. Astrologically, this is Scorpio and Taurus, a water and earth opposition. I did say that it just barely tucks into Sagittarius. So in that case, it would be fire and earth. But anyway, typically it's going to be Scorpio and Taurus, which, are two signs that are both related with finances, wealth, possessions. When it's with Sagittarius, it's an aspect called a quincunx. So most of the time, it's probably just going to show up in the chart as an opposition. And the quarter of the wheel is happening the fourth quarter of mutation, purpose fulfilled through transformation. Gate 2 is actually the one that starts the second quarter, where it's purpose fulfilled through form. So right here, we are transforming these power skills and resources and bringing them into form, right? Giving them direction and purpose in life. So I kind of love, again, layers on layers on layers, how this all folds together. So I also live with a lot of this energy. This is my Scorpio husband's sun gate. And then my little manifester, he is the opposite. He's in Earth in 14, Sun in gate 8, which is so cute. So they sit opposite of each other on the wheel. And then our daughter, she has the 2. There's our 2 in the family. So just kind of fun. And I'm like, yeah, she really does like to give direction to the resources of how they're being used. Homegirl's like, I want sushi for dinner and let's go to Japan. And we're like, okay. Oh my goodness. And it always tickles me, my son, my little manifester, he has all of the abundance gates and then some other things that really kind of point to it. And I'm just like, I'm convinced that when we're old, he's going to take care of us as a 4-6. Anyway, oh goodness. Do you have these gates in your chart? The 14, if it's black, red and black, you have got it defined somewhere. Mine, I have it. It's red and black. Uranus both sides, right? Is it colored in? Is it not? Are you a 2 Are you the 2 I'm looking for? Are you a 2? Do you have a 2? that what would be happening there is like you're experiencing it through the transits. You're getting the entire channel for approximately 6 days. So that's kind of cool too. It's like you might notice an influx of resources in some way. I don't know. Let me know. Tell me what. Tell me. I want to hear. And you might not have any of it at all, and that's totally cool too. It does not mean you're not going to be abundant in life. It's just, again, certain things are just markers for certain things. So just always curious. Like I said, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know over at Michaela McLean if you're not following me over there yet. And of course, I will be back soon with more. If this episode was of value to you, you can handle my rambling. I would love it if you would leave it a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, share it with a friend, screenshot, throw it up in your Instagram stories. Just, I'm all in for sharing is caring here for sure, for sure. It helps to get out to more people. And, and we're trying to do exactly that with my little line one. Okay, so there you go. If you want to learn more human design, of course, we got the free guide, the $11 master classes, the yoga nidras. I am working on some really cool new classes. Like I said, stuff for the new year. If you sign up for the free guide, you get on my mailing list and you'll be in the loop, and just keep an eye out for new things coming. We do have one-on-one sessions, very limited, very temporary booking right now. I'm just kind of, playing with it. Because I'm always working on bigger things. So yeah, if that interests you, go check it out. Go follow me on Instagram and keep up to date. I always post stuff about the gates, how to use them in, I guess, kind of the two, right? There's my Chiron, really healer. Whether that's frequencies, crystals, oils, different beauty practices and things, just for the week at a time, so that you can help integrate the energy into your life. But I only share those over on Instagram, so go check it out. All right. Of course, until next time, have a beautiful day.